Hey there, this is Mongoose Jake. I'm back now after taking a couple weeks off. I had a little bit of a oddball cold. Took my voice away, and it's still not fully back, but I've been wanting to do some videos on tires, and I figured since my voice is mostly back, I'll go ahead and get these started. First one is a tire I've used for the past 10 years, the WTB Nano. This is formerly called the Nano Raptor, but WTB has been over the past few years dropping off the Raptor designation off of all their tires, with the last one now still being the Velociraptor, which I doubt they'll change the name of that because of how iconic that tire is, and it also is one of my favorites. But I want to focus on this video on the Nano Raptor 2.1. Now I buy the Race series, which if you look down here you'll see it says Race with a 60 TPI casing. That means threads per inch. The higher the threads per inch count, the more supple the tire will feel, and it just gives a better feeling, a little more durability. And you see this one has the aramid bead, which is a folding type, and the DNA rubber compound, which is their overall trail riding rubber. It's not a dual compound, it's just a mid durometer, pretty durable, offers a decent amount of grip. And you see this is recommended for XC use. I use it on all of my bikes for general conditions. On the rear, I pair it up with the Moto Raptor, which I'm going to get to next in the next short video. Looking from the top, you can see where the Nano gets its name. Nano, of course, means small or little. And this tire has many small knobs arranged in a pattern where you have a solid center strip here for good rolling ability, with stepped shoulder knobs down to reinforced shoulder knobs here, which give consistent grip on cornering. Now, by looking at it, you would look at it and say this tire does not grip very well, which if it's very loose, it does not, but in general hard pack to slightly loose and rocky, this does very well, and it rolls extremely well. It's also fairly light. You can look up the exact specs on WTB's website, but it's one of the lighter tires out there while still offering a good durability. I generally can get a season to a season and a half out of these tires before I see sidewall tears show up, which I just had to replace one of my Tiacs because it finally had met the end of its life. But I have used these since 2002, and I will continue to use them as long as they are made. This, in my opinion, is the best overall tire for rear use, which in the rear you can get away with going with a lower traction tire because generally your front does pretty much 90% of your bike handling, and if the rear slides, you normally can control it very well. But this is a tire I highly recommend. Next time you need to replace the rear tire, give it a try. They range, I get these for about $32. You can look for them on sale, but the MSRP is a bit higher than that. But just look for sales and snag them up when you can. This is the WTB Nano Raptor, now called Nano, and this is a light 2.1 inch tire that gives great rolling resistance, some of the lowest rolling resistance of any tire I've ever used, along with decent traction. And when it does break loose, it's a controlled drift, especially on, say, slightly loose over hard pack type conditions. It'll drift nicely. And again, in the rear, you can get away with going with a nice low traction, high efficiency type tire like this. I would definitely recommend it to anybody to use in the rear. Do not recommend it for the front unless you live where it's pure hard pack all the time. This is Mongoose Jake showing you the Nano 2.1 from WTB.